Welcome to the exciting Ninon show at the moment, which is called Vegas Live with Ninon. But I have a gentleman right next to me that I've actually known for quite a long time. David. How do you pronounce that?
Alba.
Alba. David Alba. Now, we have been going back and forth with emails, and you wanted me to bring my crew to your house.
Yes, because
now I want to know why, because we don't really do that.
You don't do it, but I thought I have had historians from Africa, New York, San Francisco come to my home because I have one of the most beautiful Judy Garland and Oz items in the country. It's a museum worth thousands of dollars. And that's
now David's going to make me feel really guilty.
Well,
but I'm not going to feel guilty.
No, but you can always come over with her and see it. We're going
to come and see it.
Because it's gorgeous anyway.
But you look so beautiful. You are really, look at you dressed up. It looks better than I do.
And if I take too long and my makeup will crack, I'll look like the wicked witch of the West.
Now, what are you doing at the moment?
Okay.
In your career?
What I've been doing lately. Technically, I have been interviewed in documentaries because I'm the only one left from the famous Finocchio Club.
Finocchio Club, good Lord alive, that does go back some time.
Yeah,
who was in that club?
In the club, we had the famous Laverne Cummins who passed away, Carol Wallace, DMC, and the list goes on. And I was hired as the Latin American singing highlight of the show. And I was there from 1971 to 1989. Then, of course, the club is closed now because the owners died, and all my friends are dead.
Well, you got me as a friend now.
Yes, I know. All my Finocchio Club kids, I just talk to them all the time. I'm talking to the spirits. I said, why in the hell you people left me? I'm like a pyramid left behind.
Well, all I can turn around and say is you should have dealt with a younger group.
Yeah.
You should have had a younger group in there, and then they'd still all be alive.
Yeah, but that's a problem. Then. I was the youngest then, and they were the older
ones. That's
ones.
why you're still hanging around here.
That's right,
So how long have you been in Vegas? How long?
I've been here since 2004.
Oh.
And I have done a lot of shows here. I perform in theaters here. One of the beautiful places I liked is closed now, of all things, called the Annex Theater.
Even the theaters are closed.
The theater, I said, thank God my late partner filmed me, so I am all over YouTube for these shows. So at least I can go and say, oh, wow, they brought me some flowers. This lady came from...
Are you living vicariously?
Yeah, I looked, I said, you don't look too bad, he looks rather pretty as Judy. Wow, But it's hard.
With all your life and what you've done and the people you've mixed with, what is one of your most outstanding moments that you think, thank goodness, I've reached the epitome of where I really want to be and what I like?
The most, to me,
for you, of course you.
To me, the most climatic thing was when I got to meet. I was a teenager once or twice in Chicago. I got to meet the real Judy Garland, and I got to see her 3 times, and the last time she came out after the show dressing, I can still see her in a beautiful cocktail dress with a beige bow, and they had people lined up here and here, and she would walk.
You must have been quite young then.
Yeah, I was about 18.
18 years, I was going to say.
So then she says, did you like the way I sang? I said, of course I like
the way you
sang. In those days, I had a playbill. I could have brought a camera to take a photo once you're a teenager.
But we didn't do that at those days, did we?
So I thought, how stupid. So now I did say to her, I am from Cuba, and I do impersonations of you every week at the very famous nightclub.
How did she take that?
She says, do you like me that much? And I said, of course I do. Then my mother was dressed beautifully in front of me. And my mother says, will you kiss my son? Now, I never forget, Judy becomes Dorothy Gale of Kansas. And she says to me, how I wish I had a mother like you have. Oh. Now, if you read about Judy's mother, she was not very nice to Judy. So I never forgot when she said that about, I wish I had a mother like you
your
have.
mother.
And
And that stuck in your mind, didn't
in my
it?
mind.
That
Then she
stayed
gave
there.
me a kiss and she
Beautiful.
says, darling, I really would love to come and see you perform, but I have to go on tour tomorrow and I have to go to the hotel and lay down so I can be alert. And then
Why did you go into Judy Garland? Why was that your choice?
yeah, but then here comes the thing. 8 months later, after that, she passes away in London.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I got to Judy, I got to meet a very well-known, I always forget his name, hairdresser in Chicago, who said to me, I'd like to make you up for Halloween. I have in mind who you look like. So he made me up and he
That's
says,
Judy Garland.
you look like Judy. I said, can you sing like Judy? I said, well, nobody can sing like Judy. He says, you know what you can
Try.
do? He says, we'll put her recording on and you sing over her voice like a duet. I said, oh, so I sang over her voice.
Yeah.
And eventually, when I got to work at Finocchio's and other venues, I actually sang with no record, just my arrangements
own
and me.
voice.
And of course, I would say to the audience, if I was a real Judy, I wouldn't be here. I would be in the Palladium in London.
Yes, but you were doing what you were doing when you were getting...
Yeah.
Now, you must have been like 19, 20 at that time.
18.
18
It was
still.
it was a young kid. So
Yeah.
when I got to work at Finocchio, I was in my early 20s. I was a very young kid, So,
and so that became your career.
So that became, before impersonations, I danced as a boy. But they said, if you dance as a boy, unless you become somebody like Gene Kelly or Fred Astaire, it's very difficult to make it. But if you get in drag and you look pretty, well, when I was young, I looked pretty. I had pretty hands, pretty eyes.
But you're still pretty.
So
Isn't he pretty?
It wasn't hard
Come
to.
on, tell me.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. I sure brought some recorded applause from Carnegie Hall, so I can play.
You were in Carnegie Hall?
No,
No,
but
she did.
Yeah,
Judy was.
yeah,
Yes,
so I
we
brought
got
the
all the applause from Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, so anyway, so I fit the bill at Finocchio's because Mrs. Finocchio, we had a lot of Latin American tours that came from, Venezuela.
So
and
with
stuff.
all this going on, all this happening, so your greatest thing was meeting Judy Garland, and you kind of became a Judy Garland. That's what you kind of do.
And then
but you do impersonate other people
Yeah,
as well.
I did that. I did at Liza after she did cabaret.
Oh yeah.
But my forte was always my Latin act because I still have an accent. So
Oh really?
yeah, a Cuban accent, not a heavy accent, but still it's a little accent. So
A little accent you have.
my act. So my
You
act.
don't have an accent. I've got an accent.
Yeah, my act was called by my partner Boy-Chic because I'm a boy doing a chick.
Chick.
So
you were Boy-Chic.
So they would say David as Boy-Chic, and I would sing gorgeous Latin songs, and because we had a lot of Latin American audiences, they appreciated me singing. And then, of course, for the American audiences, Mrs. Finocchio said, you better sing in English too, so they know you're bilingual. So I would do one in Spanish.
Talking, doesn't he? He loves to talk.
Yeah, well, if I don't talk, I'll never see you again.
You'll see me again. Don't worry. This has been going on for some time. He's trying to get me to go to his house. I said, I don't really do that. And now eventually I got him to come to my set.
Your set.
And I love that you're coming to my set. Because
Well,
I get to see you. He even blends in with the whole thing, everything, with the colours and the whole
A
thing.
friend of mine said, you better blend. He said, you
blend
better
in.
bring the right jacket so you'll blend. And I said, I don't want to blend. I want to stand out.
Stand out. There you go. He wants to stand out.
lavender anyway.
So what are you doing now as of your career? Are you still performing or what are you doing?
Well, now I put together a show called An Evening with David de Alba, in which I would like to find a little venue here in town. I have in mind where.
Where?
Well, I need connections. One is called the Nevada Room.
Oh, the Nevada Room. So let's make connections with the Nevada Room. Anybody out there who knows the Nevada Room?
Would be nice, because
Well, you should get to know Kelly Clinton. Isn't Kelly Clinton there? I believe she is.
Anyway, but in this show, I talk about my arrival from Cuba, how I became connected with Judy.
And is there any other people in the show, or
No,
is it just one?
no,
Just you.
Yeah, me. And then what
And how long is the show?
The show is about an hour long. I do have videotapes of some of the performers from
That
Finocchio's.
come in, that you bring
So
in.
I can bring and say this was so and so, this was. But I do a lot of not so called jokes,
Maybe we'll
but
get my
anecdotes.
producer Anecdotes. Yeah.
anecdotes about why I got to do and I sing. I would say, okay, I'm going to sing for you for a change a cappella. I would sing something in
You're
Spanish.
gonna go and sing.
Okay, my theme song was I'm gonna live until I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna take this down and turn it upside down. I'm gonna live, live, live until I die. Quiero vivir, quiero cantar. Quiero vivir, quiero soñar. Quiero vivir, amar, reír, cantar. Quiero vivir, vivir hasta morir. Por eso canto, por eso río. Vivo la vida, vivo feliz. Por eso canto, por eso río y digo así. Hallelujah, I'm gonna live until I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna take this down and turn it upside down. I'm gonna live, 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 live until I die.
There we go. We got David. I didn't even know you had all this talent. I knew you had talent, but I mean, you still got the talent. You can still do it.
Yeah,
and you
still
can
the
get
voice
out
is
there.
there. I sing one key lower than before, but a key lower that I used to sing. But what do you expect once you are between 40 and death? I mean, from Maine.
You know what I see with entertainers, and it's very unique with entertainers out there. They never give up. I don't care how old they are.
No.
They never, especially an entertainer that sings. They love to sing.
Yeah.
They like to, but they still maintain that voice. How does that happen?
Well, I take it out.
Do you sing every day?
Yeah, I sing to myself. I said I'm going to sing to my dead friends from Finocchio, and I say to them, smile though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there's a cloud in the sky, you'll get by. I said, why do I have to sing to everybody who's dead? I want to sing to people who are alive too.
Well, I'm going to suggest you've got to mix with a younger group now.
We have to. But the trouble is, I learned if you get around too young people around you, then you look older. But if you put older people behind you, then you look prettier.
Yeah, but
so you have to be careful who you put behind you. This is why.
I don't know. I gave that up a long time ago.
But you can pass for 41. You're gorgeous.
Oh, you can hang around all this time. 40.
Yeah.
I got down to 41.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
And as long as I'm concerned,
I could marry you.
Yeah. You have to
We said yes.
to teach
Well,
me.
hang on a second. He said yes to
what to do. Anyway,
I'll teach you
what to do. Anyway,
I think so. But you never know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so
This is what you would call a strange marriage, because
yeah. There's a lot of strange marriages, but at least I could make you up. I could do your hair. You can. I have some beautiful costumes you can wear. So we can change clothes, and we can be like sisters. Because you know what happens. Yeah, bosom buddies. Because at the end, it seems to be that.
In the end, it really doesn't matter, because when you take your first breath and you take your last breath, it's what you do in between it, and it really doesn't matter, because it's like people, they're worried about all their clothes and this and that. What am I going to do? And you can't do anything. You can't take it with you.
No. And the worst part, I believe in spiritism. When you die, you lose all your sexual organs. You're not boy or girl anymore.
We're going to
we're going to be unisex on the other side. So.
We are?
Yeah, we are. Unfortunately, we can appear like a girl or a boy, but we don't have the parts anymore. We don't eat anymore.
Okay, well, thank you, David, for coming on.
Now I got you scared. Well, it's true.
I don't know when I'm going to come back.
I don't want to come back to this planet. I said, maybe they said this is one of the hardest planets to incarnate.
Well, I'm going to tell you,
true.
You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because if you don't work and you don't have things together, you're going to end up on the streets with nothing.
Oh, yes.
So you have to work. You have to keep yourself in order. You have to be nice to other people. And when I say you have to be nice to other people, I mean it.
You mean it?
I mean it. You've got to be nice to other people. Let's get all this anger out. Get rid of it all, and let's just get everybody, a little happier, a little more content to each other.
It's also to have. Like I said, I was raised with class and good manners, and that's gone nowadays.
But not with you, it's not.
Not
you
with me.
Still maintain it.
No, I maintain it,
That's what you have to do.
but the thing is, I'd like to attract somebody who has class and good manners, so at least we can blend. Because
Together.
otherwise, what happens is
I don't think it's me.
you have class and good manners. Sure you do. Well, we better have class and good manners.
David, how can anybody reach you?
Oh, they can reach me through you, or otherwise my email is Cuban. It's easy to remember. Cuban Legend.
Cuban Legend.
At cox.net.
Cox.net. Absolutely amazing. I will have you back on my show again.
Oh, I hope so.
What we all will do, I'll get my producer and we'll come up and see your house. And
Yeah, one day,
everything else,
yeah.
And we'll come up one day and we'll check you out.
I think you love it.
I think we'll love it. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much.
watching Vegas
God
Live
bless.
with Ninon.
Bye-bye.
And it was quite a challenge, this one, I must say.
It's a challenge.
It's been a long time. And when I suddenly realized what David was sitting next to me, I said, oh, you.
Finally.
At last.
He's
I
not
said,
David, he's
at
horrible.
last.
But he's
No,
not.
he's lovely.
No,
He's
I just
lovely.
have to be pushy, because if I don't
yes.
push myself, when the hell's going to push me?
No one's going to push you.
That's right.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to go to YouTube and become a member, subscribe and join and do all the above. Go to Facebook, go to all the social medias. And don't forget to come to the Mariposa. It's a Mexican cuisine here.
Cocina
It's
and cocktails.
Yes, and
Decatur.
cocktails, yeah,
and
it's
Decatur.
Decatur and Sahara. Come down here. It's absolutely fabulous. We'll be right back with our next guest. And you take care out there, okay? Don't be jealous because I got David.